What's going on, guys? Welcome to a segment on my channel I would like to call the $1 Million Man. Now, some of you guys might be like, Steve, what the hell are you talking about, $1 Million Man? Let me break it down for you guys real quick, all right? So if any of you guys have played Fanduel, Draftkings, Yahoo, I mean, you probably have. That's why you're here. You've more than likely have made lineups and have won absolute jack shit with those lineups. Maybe you win a little bit of money here and there, so it allows you to keep playing. But you've definitely more than likely have never won money like you see next to me on the screen right over here, all right? That 300,000, 100,000, that life-changing stack of money. I'm going to go ahead and assume that none of you guys have won that, including myself. I've never won that. But if you've played in the tournaments and you saw those winners, you've probably clicked on their lineup and have looked like, all right, how'd you win 300,000 on FanDuel on like a Monday night? All right, how'd you do that? And if you've done that a few times like I have, you see a reoccurring theme, all right? So their lineup is usually constructed off of like this, you know, the studs that were supposed to go off and win off, like the Alvin Kamaras of the world, the Zeke Elliott's of the world, all right? And then you see a couple players, 1, 2, maybe 3, that are just out of nowhere, out the blue, just career games. And you're just like, dog, how did you predict that? I don't know how they predict that, but this whole series, $1 Million Man, is going to be me trying to predict that. So I just want to say, guys, I am no, self-proclaimed fantasy or sports betting guru. Like, I see a lot of that bullshit on YouTube, a lot of that bullshit online on forums. Guys, don't buy into that shit. They just want you to buy their scammy product. If they have these systems, these lineup optimization systems that can win you money consistently, why wouldn't they just do it on themselves? And it's free money, right? If you can do it consistently, just do it for yourself and you can win yourself money with your own money, right? No, they don't want to sell it to you guys because they're scam artists. So there's none of that happening on this channel. I just enjoy playing this shit and I figured why not, why not just do it with the homies? So let's get right into it. So basically, in today's video, I'm going to be picking a wide receiver and a runner back who I think can potentially be a deep sleeper this week and go off. All right, so here we are on FanDuel. As you can see, I got my ass kicked in FanDuel this week. I have 54 cents left in here, but I'm gonna put more money in. Don't worry. But let me break it down for you guys. So as you see, I'm on the wide receiver page. I'm gonna scroll all the way down because I feel like a deep sleeper for wide receiver is like 50, 55 and under. 55 isn't like the salary, even like 54 and under. So I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna go at $4,900 under the 5K mark. That's a deep sleeper. All right. Most casual players won't go this far down and check out these guys, but let's say you have you got little brain cells, I got 2 I can rub together. So we're gonna go down and look at these deep sleepers, and let's look at Chris Hogan. So most people will click on him and be like, oh shit, he's playing the Minnesota Vikings, 3rd best defense in the league. It's gonna be a tough game for the Patriots. You look down, oh, Hogan was on the field for only 28 of the Patriots 70 offensive snaps. He's being outsnapped by Edelman, Josh Gordon, Gronk's back, so it's gonna negatively impact. Look at that word, negative. Negative is a great word for you right now. I want to know why? Because a lot of people aren't going to put them in their lineup. And that's good because the name of the game is low-owned players that go off. If you have Patrick Mahomes go off and he's 70% owned, it really don't matter for you that much. But if you have Chris Hogan go off and he's 0.9% owned, like 0.09% owned, that's going to really help you out a lot. What most people, including myself, do is they look at the game log. Let's look at this. He put up back-to-back goose eggs, back to back, and then he had a game where he scored 5 points. So that's in 3 games he has 5 targets. Obviously nothing here is like, oh, I want to start him, right? But let's think about it. Patriots this is gonna be a tough game for the Patriots. One thing to note is he's not injured. He's not playing with any injuries. He's 100% healthy, right? The Patriots are a team that it's kind of like a week by week basis with their game plan. And there's really no set guy that goes off every week for them. This year, I guess you can go with James White. He's been the most consistent player. But even him, he's been still very inconsistent in fantasy football terms. Chris Hogan last year, he was a deep ball threat like crazy. I mean, he had games where him and Brady was just connecting. Like deep ball touchdown passes. And that's what we're looking for in this game. The Patriots have been a team of checkdowns, or Julian Edelman on the slant, Julian Edelman on the drag, Julian Edelman on the zig route, James White on the flat, James White on the little halfback wheel. The Patriots have not really been a team of deep balls. Deep balls. So with a team like the Patriots that's been all about like the kind of like the run game and the check down and the slants and the short yardage pickup and the long drives, you have to go ahead and think that maybe third quarter, they're down by 10 against the Vikings. They're looking for, that spark, that special play action play that Tom Brady does where he kind of like turns around, walks, and then just unloads one down the field. We've seen him do that many times when they're down in games. We got to think of scenarios where these deep sleepers can have a potential to go off, and that's where I see Chris Hogan. He has the potential of getting a deep touchdown play, and he has the potential of getting some red zone targets. So that's why I'm picking Chris Hogan, $4,900 as my wide receiver sleeper for week, 13? Yeah, week 13 of the NFL season. Damn, this week's going by fast. All right, so runner backs, that's a position I generally try to play it kind of safe on. I've been studying the Sunday Million and the Monday, big tournament winners. And for the most part, when you look at their lineups, they go safe on runner backs and they go risky on wide receivers. But sometimes you do see them getting some sleeper runner backs. So let's take a look, because week by week, it's just different. So let's take a look. I would say a sleeper running back is honestly anywhere under $6,000 in Fanduel. I don't really know how that translates for DraftKings and Yahoo, but I'm sure it's very similar. So I'm going to take a look at my man LaShawn McCoy. Now let's look at it. They're playing is Buffalo versus Miami. Buffalo's hot. They're coming off like back-to-back wins, right? And they're going up against a Miami Dolphins team that is struggling. They kind of fumble in between Brock Osweiler and Ryan Tannehill. They're coming off back-to-back losses. I don't think Miami's won a game in November. No, they won a game the first week in November. If you take a look at their rush defense, just absolutely awful. They got torched by Aaron Jones a couple weeks ago. I mean, just absolutely torched by Aaron Jones. And Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers, if you don't know. So let's take a look at LaShawn McCoy. As we know, I mean, he is like the centerpiece of this offense. His numbers this year might not really show it, but let's look. 2 weeks ago against the New York Jets, a run defense that is also suspect. They did have a backup quarterback in that game. What's the guy's name? Matt Barkley. He was playing that game. That does factor into his performance. He got a lot more touches. That might have been his most touches this season, or at least up there. But 113 rushing yards. I think he got a touchdown that game. No, yeah, he got 2 rushing touchdowns that game. So FanDuel is really pushing the fact that they think he went off because he had a backup quarterback in, and that's true. But then again, I think the reason why he kind of flopped the next week is, I don't know, it might have to do against him going up against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Even though they won that game, that's a tough matchup for any running back coming into Jacksonville and to go off. Like, you really can't expect a running back to go off against Jacksonville. There's just a few defenses where you just cannot expect that to happen. But now I think he's going to have a bounce-back game going up against the Miami Dolphins. I mean, the Buffalo Bills are red hot. For Buffalo Bills standards, coming off back-to-back wins. I think any red zone appearance for the Bills, you got to think that LaShawn McCoy is going to get some touches. So if the Bills can stay red hot for $5,700 for a running back, I don't know, not a bad move. Also, actually, a notable mention I want to add here, actually. I almost forgot. Let's scroll all the way down for a deep, I don't know, I want to say a deep sleeper because of his price, but I think a lot of people are kind of hip, kind of know what to do, like what's going on here. So $4,800 for a TJ Yeldon. My bad, guys. I haven't mentioned that I'm sick, so if I sound weird, it's because I'm sick. I can't really breathe out my nose. But anyway, $4,800 for TJ Yeldon. For those of you who don't know, Leonard Fournette is suspended. He's not playing, so TJ Yeldon is going to be getting all the snaps. On top of that, Blake Bortles is benched. So they got a backup quarterback going in. What does a backup quarterback mean? Run heavy and check downs. Short passes and a lot of runs. Who's good on that? TJ Yeldon. Yeah, he's sharing the backfield with Carlos Hyde, but Carlos Hyde looks like not even a shadow of what he looked like last year. So, I mean, I know he hasn't really been doing much lately. Why is that? Because Leonard Fournette's in. But let's look at when Leonard Fournette was injured. He had a couple games. Look at this, back-to-back games against the Jets and Kansas City. 21.5, 22.2. For a guy who's $4,800, if he can score you 20 points this game, going up against the Indianapolis Colts team, that they have an all-right rushing defense, kind of like a middle-of-the-pack defensive team. They put up a lot of points, and I think the Colts are going to absolutely smoke Jacksonville. But that all that means is, a lot of offensive reps, a lot of, trying to crawl their way back in the game. And that means there could possibly be burn time points for TJ Yeldon. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look. I'm going to add TJ Yeldon to a few of my lineups for $4,800. I mean, you can't go wrong. That's going to create cap space for a ton of solid players. So like I said, if he can get you at least 16 points for $4,800, not a bad look. So that's the end of today's episode. Hopefully I'm right so I don't look like an idiot in at least one of these players. Let me know in the comment section below who you think some deep sleepers are. Let me know who you think's going to go off. And let me know if I'm a complete idiot. But also, if you guys haven't already subscribed, I would appreciate it if you click the subscribe button before I have a stroke. Show your boys some love. And maybe check out some more videos on my channel in the future. I'm also going to be doing live podcasts, so stay tuned for that.